What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'll be doing another updated deck profile on my Cosmo Dragoons deck from the brand new set Chaos Control Crisis. So the set actually gives us brand new cards that help improve the Cosmo Dragoon deck. So this deck actually has gotten beef of its offenses, and I'll be introducing you new cards which you can add to your Cosmo Dragoons and make the deck so much better. So I actually recently tested this deck, and previously Cosmo Dragon had a problem with overrunning huge monsters, but right now with this new card and a couple of new cards, this deck has gotten so much more consistent and it's gotten so much power. So let me go on the deck profiles on my card choices and why you should use them. So let's get started. Alright, so as usual, my flag is just my standard flag, my ugly flag. And of course, the starter we have here is RF15 Young. She's a very nice monster because she helps you get into your Consensus combo. So it is very important, especially if you're playing Bradbury, because Bradbury really has an amazing ability, but can only be fulfilled perfectly if you are able to determine what's your next card, especially Cosmo Dragoons. So she's a really important monster in case you need to check the top deck, and she gives you additional attack, I guess, so because she kind of clears the center after attacking, so your weapon will be able to attack. So that's why we use her as Buddy. Usually Buddy conditions, you should use monsters that are easy to call. So size 0s are great targets to be buddies. Alright, so we'll go on to the grade 2s, size 2s. In this deck, I actually remove size 3s because I play a lot of Guard formation in this Cosmo Dragoons deck, so yeah, I kind of remove size 3s and play more size 2s. So the brand new card from the Chaos Control Crisis is R20 Bradbury. So our Bradbury is a very offensive card, so you'll be sacrificing a bit of defense, but he promises you great return, because if you're able to fulfill his condition, which is whenever this card attacks, review the top card of the deck, and if the card review is a Cosmo Dragon, deal 1 damage to your opponent and you can gain 1 life. And for this turn, it gains double attack. Then put the review card to the bottom of your deck. So there's something very interesting is, let's say this is your first attack. You attack, you review a Cosmo Dragoon, you will restand, and you can deal 1 damage and heal 1 life yourself. So you can life steal one of your opponents. And the second time it attacks, you can review another card, and if you happen to review another Cosmo Dragoon, yes, you do not restand, but you can get to deal another life steal your opponent. So you can gain 1 life and deal 1 damage to your opponent. So that's actually pretty impressive. And of course, if you combo this card with the Black Clock and restand him once again, and he attacks once again, and you will activate his ability on turn, you can definitely deal. It's basically a triple attack, a 3-crit monster, and heals you every time you attack. So it is a very good card in my opinion. Yes, you do sacrifice a bit of ability to move, but you still have Clark to do your moving stuff. So I usually use him as a finisher, and of course he also gives you some life, so you will not be so vulnerable next turn. And Cosmo Dragon have a lot of great negates, so I'm not gonna be so worried about that. And he also have a Soul Guard, so he won't be removed so easily by removal. This card is definitely very offensive with 7k attack power, perfect for this meta because a lot of 7k attack powers in this meta, 7k defense in this meta, and 2 crits decent, and 1k attack power because we don't really need to care about defenses. So this is a very good offensive monster. So that's one of the size 2s. Another size 2 we play is 4 copy of our classic Clark, R15 SAC 17 Clark. Clark is an amazing card as well. Yes, less offensive, but he has a great ability because you'll be able to plus off so much of him. So his ability is Core Cost. Put the top card of the deck into this card and pay 1 gauge. So it's really good because if combining its ability with the move, it will be able to protect you with some damage. So you'll be able to show some damage. And his ability Activate. So you can only use Activate ability during your main phase. Review the top card of the deck, and it's a Cosmo Dragoon. Put it into your hand. So basically you're drawing 1 free card once per turn, and for this turn this card gains double attack. So you're getting 1 free card by revealing, so make sure it's a Cosmo Dragoon, otherwise you won't get the plus and won't get the double attack. So yeah, he has moved so it can protect your life. Decent stats of 623. Unfortunately the 6 just 1k more so that you'll be able to run over most of Dragon's Wise monster, but nonetheless it is still an amazing card. Another 2 size 2s we play is 2 copies of Burrows. Burrows is a defensive tank card. Core Cost, put the top card of the deck into this soul and pay 1 gauge. So at cost 1 gauge, you already gain 1 soul. When this card attacks, review the top card of the deck, and if it's a Cosmo Dragon, put in this card soul. So this makes this guy really tanky. So potentially you'll be getting at least having 2 souls, so that you'll be able to move in and protect yourself for 1 turn. So it's a very good first turn card in my opinion. call him, attack, get a free card into soul. So basically you get 2 soul guards, and you can just move center, sacrifice him off, and extend call Clark or Bradbury for some offense. A fantastic card. So that's the size 2s. So let's go on to size 1s. We play 4 copies of Helene. Helene is an amazing card. So basically it's kind of like Destructor. He's basically 1 card that enters the field that allows you to draw 2 cards for free. At the cost of course, you predicting Cosmo Dragoons, which is not difficult to be honest, because this deck is pretty much 90% Cosmo Dragoons except for the negates. Everything is Cosmo Dragoons except for the negates and spells, so it's like 80%. So even if you do not predict, chances are you're just gonna get Cosmo Dragoons for free. So we have many cards that allows you to rearrange the top deck so that you can predict when your Cosmo Dragoons are coming. So that basically is a very, very fun deck to play. Allows you to chain combo so that you will get the stuff you need. Lunegate, when this card enters the field, review the top card of the deck, and if it's a Cosmo Dragoon, you can add it to your hand and draw 1 card. So basically that's drawing 2 cards for free. Alright, granted your opponent will probably see one of those cards, but hell, if I'm getting 2 cards, why not? I can let you see one. The other one you won't be able to see. So you can only activate its ability once per turn, and he has a decent 2 crit so that you'll be able to beat down your opponents. 4 copies of Norton. Alright, since this deck has a lot of potential of rearranging the top deck right now, so we have new spells from Control Crisis. Playing Norton is also really good because she charges Gauge and gains you 1 life. I used to play more Bester, but since we have so much rearranging already, I don't think we need so much of Bester right now. So Norton is 4 copies because she's able to heavy charge Gauge, and if you are able to combine it with Black Clock and resend Norton, attack again, you can activate her ability once again, and you can potentially charge a Gauge and gain a life again. And with Bradbury, you gain so much life and get so much advantage. So it's 4 copies of Norton, and she's really cute as well. So 1 copy of Bester, just in case sometimes you really need to rearrange your top deck. And he also has the move ability in case you do not have a card to move to the center to protect your life. So just 1 copy of Bester. For size 0, we play 4 copies of Young because she's our buddy monster. And a very important card because right now we have Bradbury. So if you're able to check the top deck, it is very good. At the end of battle, when this card attacks, you may put this card to the bottom of the deck. If you do, check the top 2 cards of your deck, and you may choose to put them on the top or place them at the bottom. So if you see Cosmo Dragoons, leave it on the top. If you see non-Cosmo Dragoons, you might want to put them bottom. So it's all up to situation. So this deck actually tests your situation skills, situation management. So it is a very kind of skill-based deck, honestly. It's very easy to misplay with this deck, but if you play them well, I can guarantee you're gonna have a great time with this card. So that's our monsters. Let's go on to our spells. 4 copies of Fifth Focus, one of my favorite spell cards because you'll be able to basically potentially check top 5 cards and draw 1 of them. So chances are you will get the stuff you need. So if you need a weapon, high chance you're gonna get it. If you need other spells, you can high chance you're gonna get it. Alright, ability is you can only cast this card if you have a Cosmo Dragon on the field. At the cost of 1 Gauge, look at the top 5 cards of the deck and rearrange them. You cannot put them at the bottom, but you can rearrange those 5 cards and then draw 1 card. So basically what you want to do is, if you see any non-Cosmo Dragoon attribute cards, you might want to draw it so that you can keep your Cosmo Dragons later on, so that you can combo off with many of your other awesome units in your hands. So yeah, usually this is a Fifth Focus is a very good setup card for the turn, because pretty much you know what's gonna happen the next 5 cards. So yeah, combine your strategies well, and you'll be rewarded really good. Alright, next is the next 4 cards from the deck is Cosmo Salute. This card is the brand new card from Control Crisis. It's an amazing card, simply. You may only cast the card if you have Cosmo Dragon on your field. Charge 1 Gauge from the top of the deck and draw 1 card. Alright, that is simply just Divine, what's it called? Dragon Emperor Legend. And you can check the top card of the deck. If you do, you may place that card at the top or bottom. So if you see a non-Cosmo Dragon attribute, you might want to place it at the bottom. And if you see Cosmo Dragon, hey, nice, I could use like maybe Haynes to get him, so I could just leave it on top. Haynes, I call Haynes, Halines, then Halines will just edit for me. I can draw extra card as well. So yeah, very good setup card. These are my setup cards, so at beginning of turn you might want to have 1 of these at least, so that you can gain so much plus. 2 copies of Gauge Adders. Also, these are also one of the setup cards in my deck. You may only cast the card if you Cosmo Dragon on a field. charge 3 gauge, and then look at the top card of the deck. If you do, put it at the top and bottom. So yeah, you'll be able to rearrange as well. It's similar to the charge and draw, but this time we gain more gauge. Yep. I actually tested the deck, and 2 is just works fine for me. Alright, let's go on to our negates. 4 copies of Cosmo Hue Protection. Very good card. When this card, you can only cast this card with Cosmo Dragon on the field and you do not have a monster in the center. So basically it's like a Dragon Shield, Blue Dragon Shield and Green Dragon Shield. Counter, nullify the attack and review the top card of the deck. If it is a Cosmo Dragoon, add it to your hand. Wow, a Dragon Shield for no cost that lets you draw cards. That is simply amazing. And then you can heal 1 life. So it's like kind of like a draw. It's kind of like an Arc Dragon Shield combined with a Green Dragon Shield for no gauge cost. So that's a very good negate. Definitely Cosmo Dragon has the #1 negates in the Buddyfight world, in my opinion. 4 copies of Cosmo Charge Protection. Another awesome card. Basically, it's our Blue Dragon Shield, nullify the attack, and look at the top 2 cards of the deck. You may place 1 of them into your gauge and put 1 of them to the top of the deck. So let's see. Let's say you saw 2 cards like this. Oh damn! I sure want to draw him, so I might just want to charge this guy away and just put it on top of the deck. So my turn, I can just draw it. And you know what's coming. So you could also combine this with like your Nis negates, so they can stack your Cosmo Dragon on top, so they can like at least use this to get it to your hand. So very good cards, Green Dragon Shield and Blue Dragon Shield. Alright, that is our spells. Let's get on to our weapons. We play 3 copies of Black Clock. Black Clock ability is equip cost 1 life. Counter, during your turn, you may choose a Cosmo Dragon on the field, you may pay 1 gauge and review the top card of the deck. If it's a Cosmo Dragoon, you can restand that monster. So, great card to combo with the following cards. Bradbury. And her. And him. So these 3 cards combo really well because every time they attack, basically cards that gains an ability when it attacks just benefits so much from this card. So yeah, with our ability to check the top deck so often, this card is pretty much live all the time in testing. Next is 3 copies of Star Dragon Lance Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is also an amazing card. When this card attacks, you review the top 3 cards of the deck and rearrange them. So it's good because with cards like these, which you wanna like, if you are not confident of the top deck, you can attack with your weapon first. Then check the top 3. Then okay, the next card is gonna be Cosmo Dragoon. I'll attack and reset this card and deal 1 damage and attack 1 more time. If it's a Cosmo Dragon, probably you can deal another damage to your opponent. So that is why these cards actually are gaining popularity right now in Japan especially. Alright, that is our weapons. So finally we have our impacts is 3 copies of Stardust Maneuver. Stardust Maneuver is a pretty good impact. For a cost of 2 gauge, you'll be able to deal 4 damage to your opponent. You may only cast the card if your opponent has 4 life or less and you have a size 2 or greater Cosmo Dragoon on your field. So at the cost of 2 gauge, review top card of the deck. If it's a Cosmo Dragoon, deal 4 damage to your opponent. And then put the review card back to the bottom of the deck. So with this deck's ability to check so much, this impact is pretty much live all the time. So 2 gauge for a 4 damage impact is just simply amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on the brand new Cosmo Dragoon version 2. If you like more Buddyfight deck profiles, be sure to subscribe to my channel for the best Buddyfight decks. So I'll see you next time and peace out. Love you guys.